Hello all, in this video we are going to demonstrate a small multiples graph. So small multiple graph is a series of similar graphs using the same scale and axis, and this helps us to allow uh, to compare very easily. Okay, so for that I considered the data of three different regions: Midwest, Southeast and Northeast regions, and I have a data of decade 1980, 1990, 2000, 2010 and 2020. This is the performance of sales in those regions, okay, of a given product. I just made up this data. I want to do a multi-line chart to compare the values of this particular data. For that, go to insert, select the data, go to insert, and then do the 2D line. Okay, you got this data, you got this chart. So this shows a comparison of all the three different variables here. Okay, so now what we need to do is, this is a small multiples graph which would allow user to view each and every line in a separate graph using the same axis and the same scale. Okay, so let me do that for you. So for the first time, assume that you have even multiple regions here, more than three. So at the time you have to do more manual work, but I have only three here, so let me show you that. So select the first two records of the data, insert chart with Midwest. Okay, so Midwest is performing 20%, 34, 19, increasing and decreasing and all. If you want, you can have these as dots or some kind of shape. So for that, what you need to do is you have to right click on the chart or right click on the line, and then format data series. In that, fill and line, marker options built in, and then you would be able to change something, whatever the shape that you would like to have. Okay, this way you would be able to see. And then in the line, maybe if you want to change that color to green, you could change that as well. So in the marker, I'm changing the color to green as well, so that we can see in a better, no, it's all the same. Okay, so you can change to whatever the color that you would like to have. Okay, so this is our Midwest chart. So we have drawn for the first one. So now we have to show the other two regions as well. For that, what we need to do is, do not select any data, go to insert and select an empty 2D line chart here, and then select this chart. Just select the whole chart, copy, you could right click, copy, and then select the empty chart and then paste it. So this helps you to get exactly the same chart with the same axis and same scale. Okay, so now right click on this chart, edit or select data. Once you select data, if you remember from the previous graphs, we have added here. So now we need to edit this data from Midwest to Southeast. So just delete this, select Southeast, and then delete this, use all the Southeast values. Okay, and then click OK. So now this data has been changed to Southeast. So when you draw multiple graphs, I mean, you can say that, well, I can draw individual graphs, but when you draw multiple graphs, it would be better to do the same axis and same scale. So that's why we are doing like this, by copying the graph and editing the data. So if you notice here, the axis is not same, y-axis especially. And when you actually show this data to someone, people may think that Southeast is performing worse than the Midwest because the axis is different here. Here you have only up to 50%, here you have 100% axis. So that clearly shows that it's a bad visualization. So if you notice here, Southwest is having almost 60%, which is 59 percentage, whereas Midwest is having 45. So if you notice this, Midwest is performing better, which is not true, right? So that's why what we need to do is we have to change the axis to 100% everywhere. For that, select the axis, right click, format axis. There you see 0.5, which is 50%, and you could put 1.0. Yes, you could put 1.0. That shows the two graphs are with the same axis. Okay. So this is a better way for a visual perception that people may be able to understand. So you can do the same for the Northeast as well in a similar process. Okay. Thank you for watching.